for the latest on this story. Let's cross now to the Sunday Times Asia correspondent, Philip Sherwell. Philip, 2 months since this coup took place, and the military is continuing to increase the brutality. Tell us more about the tactics they are deploying towards protesters.
They're trying to adopt a series of ways to crush protest. You've seen the really shocking scenes on the streets where actual demonstrations have been sort of met with live fire as well as rubber bullets and stun guns and tear gas. You're seeing increasing sort of roundups and sort of detaining people who they believe are organizers or are involved in these protests, and not just the protests, but the civil disobedience movement, which is the strikes that are grinding the economy and much of the workings of government to a halt. And then, as you mentioned, they've now ordered the telecom companies to switch off all wireless internet connections. They already were switching off the internet at night in its entirety, and now 24 hours a day for an indefinite future, the wireless will be turned off. The only internet connections people will have will be through a sort of fixed connection. And this is an attempt to cripple the efforts of the protesters to organize. But, they're in large cities and urban areas. They've got word of mouth. They do have radio frequencies. And really, this is not doing anything to sort of quell or suppress the dissent. But certainly, it's a sign of how desperate the military are, because this internet switch off is a disaster for businesses that are already struggling to deal with the logistics of being in a war zone, a practical war zone. And they have been amongst those really lobbying the government to give them better internet access so they can actually conduct their work. And now that's gone too. So it's a broad brush attack that's taking out a lot of different elements of society.
Former civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi has been in detention for 2 months as well. We've actually only seen her via video link when she appears in court. Now there's another serious charge being piled on her. What is the military trying to do with these charges?
They have one intent really here. They're building up these charges. They started relatively minor, allegedly possessing walkie-talkies in contravention of the law. But now we're seeing with this Official Secrets Act charge that what they want to do is make sure that she's ruled out of any political future in the country by imposing very harsh penalties on her under their interpretations of a series of laws. They do say that at some stage they're going to hand back power through an election. There is great doubt about whether that could be vaguely free or fair. But what they really want to make sure is that Aung San Suu Kyi, the most popular politician in the country, isn't a figure in those elections. She's 75. She's facing a series of charges that could lead to sentences of several years. They will also rule her out of being able to take part in politics. The junta is again giving this message, we don't care what the world thinks, and we don't care what the people of Myanmar did when they elected her as again by a landslide victory in November. We're going to attempt to impose our writ. So far, it's not working, but that's their mission.
Sunday Times Asia correspondent Philip Sherwell, thank you so much for your reporting.